What did we need to find in a pyramid? Slant height. It gives us the height and the slant height. How did we find that slant height? I heard it. How did we find the slant height? Pythagorean theorem. So in order to find that, we have to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, this whole curved part is known as the lateral surface, and we found lateral area of the surfaces before. How have we found surface area of all of our solids? Like this? Yep, we found the area of all these squares or rectangles, add them all together. If I made the net of this, what's one shape we can find the area of here? Circle. How do we find the area of that, John? How do we find the area of the circle?
Isn't it pi r squared?
Perfect, yep. Now, how do we find the area of this? What is this shape? Pac-Man, exactly what I heard last period too. Pac-Man.
A concave circle?
Yeah, it's kind of like a chunk of a circle, isn't it? But we don't know exactly how to find this area, so they tell us how. Like a piece of a circle. But this I cut, like remember when we make the net? I cut along this slant height, or we call it L, just give it like a little variable name. We cut along here and along that side and we unfold it. So this is really the lateral surface around the cone. This is the whole curved part. And this is the base, the circle. So we know that finding the area of the circle is pi r squared. Now how do we find the area of that? That's what they tell us. They say finding the area of this is about half of the circumference, or the distance around this circle, which is 2 pi r, right? So half 2 pi r times the slant height. So they give us this. Half 2 pi r times L, which ends up being pi r L. If I were you, I would write this down. Because unlike all the other solids, we've been able just to find the area of each shape and add them together. This one is something that we can't exactly find if we don't know pi r times L or pi r times the slant height.
So basically the half is basically the
Right.
L.
Yep, because the half times 2 cancels out, right? So we get pi r L. That's just telling us where they get pi r L.
We don't use that.
Right here, pi r L.
Oh.
Yep. So the area of our circle, pi r squared, plus our pi r L, gives us the surface area of the whole cone. And remember, the lateral surface is this surface all around the side of the cone, which comes out to be this. Do you have it right now? You what? Paper? Scratch paper right back there. Oh, cross, gotcha. Got it right now? Okay. So let's go through an example. Remember, what did we say that we needed to find first? What are we given here? What is this here? This is our height, right?
That's how you read a map.
Latitude and longitude?
It's
Lateral.
lateral.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so here's our height of our whole cone. What do we need to find though? Our slant height, right? We need to find this, or L. So we need to find our slant height. And how did we say we found that? Pythagorean theorem. So here's our triangle. We have our base is 5 and our height is 12. So where do I go from here?
5 squared plus 12
5 squared plus 12 squared
squared
equals c squared, which is really our L, our slant height.
closer.
What do I get here? 5 squared plus 12 squared is what?
169.
Was it?
169.
169? What's my next step? How do I get c's square root, right? Square root of both sides, and what do I get?
13.
So, our slant height, 13 meters. Now, what do we say our area, our lateral surface is of the cone? Around the cone. Yep. So, hint here as our formula to find that area. What do we do? Pi RL. Good. Yep. So we plug in. What's our radius? Our radius is 5. What do we find our slant height to be, Jordan? What do we find our slant height to be? 13. So what do we do, Tyler? What do we get here?
Oh, Jesus.
5 times 13,
Big number.
65 pi.
65 pi. Now, for now, what is our label? We found area, right? What label do we need?
Meter squared.
Meter squared. That's our lateral surface area. Now, finding our surface area of the whole cone, how do we do that? We have the area of our circle, pi r squared. Chastity said, then what? So we got the area of our circle
Pi r.
plus the lateral area. Now, plug in. Pi r squared. How do we find, what's the area of that circle? What's our radius, Jake? What's the radius of our circle? 5. Now, what did we find our lateral area to be? 65 pi. We already found that right here, right? So we're going to put in our 65 pi. 5 squared, Quinn.
25.
25 pi plus 65 pi. What do we get, John?
282.6.
282.6. What's our label, Kale?
Meter squared.
Meter squared. There's the surface area of our whole cone.
Love it.
So, if we remember the formula for a lateral area, easy, right? Only 2 steps. But we need to remember that. Pi RL, pi r times the slant height. Now, I'm going to have you guys work on one with your partner.